Hello everybody, I'm Steffi here from The Makers, and it's really nice to be back and continue on the nativity, which is we started last week with the sheep. So lots of you have been already making lots of lovely sheep, as we've seen on our Everyone a Maker Facebook page. I've got my cup of tea here, and I'm really grateful today for a hot cup of tea because our heating is broken, and I've just stripped off the thickest and woolliest jumper you've ever seen, and it's actually now wrapping my legs. So I'm sitting here with almost like a woolly blanket on me to keep myself warm. But I thought I have to wear royal blue because we're starting on the family, the nativity family, of course, with Joseph today, and he's here with his staff or walking stick, whatever you want to call it. And if you pose him quite carefully, then he can even stand on his own. He just needs a little bit of twiggling, that's not even a word, but you know what I mean. Needs a little bit of jiggling, and I'm gonna do this all day now. Come on, just stand for me. You can do it. Come on, Joseph. You've done worse things than just stand on your own 2 feet, surely. Yeah, I'll just keep doing that for the rest of the tutorial now, and then the time's up and we'll all be going home. Yes, anyway, I will do this. I will get him to stand. Totally and utterly adamant. And while I'm trying to do this, I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to tell you that today we've got a lovely competition on again, which we have on every of our live streams, and also the watch parties on the Thursday evening on Facebook. And I'm so gonna make a fool of myself. You're probably all sitting there biting your nails, hoping that Joseph, yoo-hoo, he's standing. I knew he would. He's standing. He's definitely standing on his own. I haven't magically glued him to the thingy. But anyway, coming back to the competition, some of you may or may not know that we do a skin color wool top, and it's not so great in the light there actually. I'll hold it further back, maybe you can see. So it's got lots of lovely skin tone wool tops and also wool bats. So if you get really into making little figures, or maybe you want to use them for making animals, they're really great colors, and you get them in the top so that you can make the faces with the Moustache Lollipop technique, which you will be seeing in a minute when I make Joseph. Then this is up for grabs. And I'm very conscious that we've got an important date coming up this weekend, which is Remembrance Day in the UK. So Remembrance Day doesn't always have to be about the wars that have been fought in the past. It can also be remembering a hero, any hero. And so today we would like to hear what's your hero that you're remembering. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, or that is deep in your heart, a hero that has made a difference to you, somebody you look up to, somebody who you may be missing because they're no longer here. Maybe you've still got a hero who's by your side. Better still. But let's have some names of heroes, however silly you think their names are, however I don't know, even if we don't know them, just drop us a line on the comments here and tell us about your heroes. And then Emma, as usual, is on the other side, and she will be picking a name out of the hat. So we're not judging you on whatever hero you've got. We might have a nice I don't know, a nice conversation about some of them. So that's it basically. So go with that. And what I thought I'll do today is I'm actually going to Joseph needs to just walk out of the screen here. I'm actually going to use the nativity kit and open this up today so that you can see the value of this. And I'll do this overhead because when I say overhead, I don't mean that I'm going to go overhead. I mean that I'm doing this with the overhead camera. So if you ever get one of our kits, you might be wondering how on earth we put this ribbon or this jute string around it, which is 100% natural fiber, and we can't give you the secret because that's a maker's secret. And in this nativity kit, we started with the sheep last week, but you get everything to make all of these characters that you can see on here. So you can make 2 sheep, you can make the donkey, which we're also doing here on the live stream, not next week but the week after. You can make Mary with baby Jesus. We're doing Joseph today, and you can make the angel. So it is actually a massive, massive kit. The instructions equally, there's lots of them in there because you're making so many projects, so you get them, you get lots of them in there. And then the best thing of all of this is, and this is where our work just pours into it, because every single project has its own little pack, and that for us it's backbreaking, but for you it's brilliant because you don't have to buy a wisp of pink, or you know, if you look at some of these packs, they've only got like a small amounts of something in it, so you don't have to get anything individual. You can just literally get the nativity kit, and even if you don't do it all in one go, you can certainly, I'm going to take Joseph out now and put the rest back in. Also, I should say, in our new kits you get our basic wool mat. This is totally new now that we don't put plastic into our kits anymore, and it actually says congratulations, you're one of the first to get our new plastic free basic wool mats. Use both mats together with a hessian side sandwiched in the middle. With use they'll felt as one, and they're 100% compostable when no longer needed, and obviously you take that label off before you use it. So the two hessian sides need to go on the inside like a sandwich, and they're ready to use, and they're absolutely amazing. And then of course in all of our kits you always get felting needles as well, which are in there as well. I'm not even going to use because I've got some on the go already, and we're putting everything else back safely into the box, lid back on. Let's put the instructions, let's just put some instructions back in there. There we go. That's it. So and Joseph is here. You have to find your own stick for Joseph. That's the only thing that we don't put in there. But I'm just going to give you just an idea of the detail, what we put in there. So you get your pipe cleaners because you need them, obviously. There you go. I'll just straighten them out. Got 2 pipe cleaners in there. You get some curls, and they're natural curls. So they might, some of them might be a bit browner, some of them might be a bit grayer. You even get Joseph's belt. He's got a string, so you get a bit of wool there. You get the extra strong thread that you need for tying the head together, and then you've got the different color wools to actually make Joseph. So you all of this, just packing all of this, if you count the item, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8 separate items that have to go into this bag, and you can imagine how that is taking its time to do. So we've done all the hard work for you, and you don't need to measure anything out. It's all here. Right, I'm just going to go big for a minute because I want to just have a quick look at who is here at the other end, and just going to read some of the comments and say hello to some people there. So we've got Faith there. Hi, Faith. We've got Fenny there. I don't even read the comments out anymore. It's just because you guys are such chatterboxes that if I read all the comments out, I'm just going to be sitting here all day reading lovely comments. We've got Sandra here, Diane, Donna is there. Hi Donna, hope you're feeling all right. Natasha is there, and we've got Alicia is there. Hello Alicia. And we've got Serena here. Serena, your work is amazing. Carol, and try not to, and Bridget is there all the way from Australia. Pauline, not from Australia but from the Cotswolds. We know you well, Pauline. And who else have we got here? Did I say Sandra already? If I have, then well, doesn't really matter if I mention you twice. Erica is there. Hi, Erica. It was really nice to see you the other day on the YouTube with Pam. That was such a treat to actually put a face to the name. Right, let's get back to why we're here, which is making Joseph. And I'm going to go to the overhead camera so that I can start off and explain to you what's happening here. Okay. So when you make our little figures, you get, this is the same for the fairy boxes, which we've just had a new one come out, the Christmas fairy. I've got her here and I will show her to you as well, because you might, if you're making the individual characters, you might just want to get the fairy box to make yourself an angel to go with the nativity. But here you get a basic shape for angels, fairies, and figures instruction sheet, and this comes in the nativity box, and it's really useful not just to make these figures here that we're making in a nativity, but for any other figures, because you get to choose 3 shapes here that set you, so you can make these 3 basic shapes that set you up to then eventually make maybe one of these or some similar. So whether it's a hanging fairy, whether it's a mermaid, whether it's a standing fairy, whether it's a little fairy with legs, whether it is like a whole 3D shape, or whether it is a standing figure like Joseph here. And remember, if you're not into the nativity, that's absolutely fine. Not everybody celebrates Christmas in that way. Then this is just a useful tutorial also how to make a figure, just a standing figure like that. So it could be a man of any description. You could even personalize him and maybe make him one copied on a person that you do know. And then when you've made the basic shape, then you go to our second set of instructions, and we pick up from there. So Mary is here actually first, and there's Joseph, and then we tell you you have to have reached this stage here, which is in the basic instruction one of the last stages, and we pick it up from there. But I now start on making Joseph, or he will never be done. Right, so I've got my pipe cleaner here, and the reason why this is called the lollipop moustache or the moustache lollipop technique is because we're starting by making a moustache. Now, because you've got your flesh pink fibers here, you need to actually take a little bit off for Joseph's hands. So I'm just separating a couple of strands here that I can use. I put to one side, and then I'm going to use my pipe cleaner, and I'm going to bend in the top about 1 to 2 centimeters, just so that it creates a hook. And I'm literally hooking the leftover strand here onto that, and then I'm closing that pipe cleaner, and I'm actually going to twist it shut because I don't want the head to suddenly come off. That would be terrible. Imagine Joseph's head just flying off. Dear, oh dear. So you now have a moustache. That's why it's called. And I have to go to the big picture because I am such a child. I have to wear it as a moustache to demonstrate it. It's very tickly. It will make you sneeze, but at least you've got, at least if nothing else, if you can't make Joseph, you have a moustache there. Always wanted one. Shh, I've got one. Right, let's go quickly to the overhead camera. There is my moustache, and now you've got this lovely white wool. It's actually the lanolin rich, which is great because it felts down really fast. And you're going to add the lollipop to the moustache. And to do this, you're learning how to wrap wool around the pipe cleaner, which some of you will already be saying this in your sleep, that you need to keep it flat like a ribbon, and then you start wrapping it. So I'm always making sure that it stays flat and I'm not twisting that wool. And you build up quite fast, sort of a layer on the head, which should measure about 4 to 5 centimeters. If it's a little bit smaller, that's probably always better than being too big. So, and if you struggle to know what 4 to 5 centimeters are, fear not, because our instructions have got a centimeter measure here. And so you could just hold it against that. And yeah, that's about 4 centimeters. But before you sort of decide on the finished size, you take your felting needle, and all you're going to do is you stab into the base of that ball that you've just rolled around the base of the moustache, around the pipe cleaner, to firm it up a little bit. If you need to use your felting mat, then obviously do that. You don't necessarily need one just right now. And what you will now appreciate is that you've put that twist around the moustache trap, so to speak, around the pipe cleaner, because what will happen is, if you look at this, you've got quite a lot of pipe cleaner sticking out there, but you can just push the head up a bit, and if you haven't tightened this really well, you might just, like I said, you might just pull Joseph's head off, which I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate very much. And just to be really authentic, I'm going to use the wool mat that you get in the kit, and in all of our kits now, you might end up with the odd one that has got a foam felting mat still in there. We're in the transition phase, but we are pretty much there now. I just noticed using this needle. This is a coarse needle. This lanolin rich wool doesn't actually like it very much, so I'm going to opt for a slightly smaller needle from my stash here. This is our felting needle mega mix. You get one of each needle that we stock in there, and it makes a total of 11 needles. And I'm actually going to go for a medium twisted needle because that's much better. Oh, so much nicer to felt with. Goes straight into the wool, does the job. And if you ever wondered when do you use which needle, then it just basically means if the needle bounces off like the coarse one did, or you have to really force it in and then you have a chance of breaking it, then you might need to go down a needle size. And if you're stabbing your wool and absolutely nothing happens, you might as well use a sewing needle. Then you just go up one size. You need to have that real crunch. You need to see the wool shrinking away under the needle. That is how you know that the felting is taking place most efficiently. And with stabbing into this head here, you need to also make sure that you don't go hell for leather into the pipe cleaner, because that will also break your needle. So I've got a little head here now. It's probably a little bit smaller than yeah, it's just about 4 centimeters, so I'm going to stick with that. And now you're going to lower your moustache. Oh, I've got to show you the lollipop, of course. Right, so having made a moustache, now you've got a lollipop to lick. Moustache lollipop technique, that's it basically. It says it what's in the tin. It's in the tin what it says on the label. There's a saying. You know what I'm talking about. It's basically what it does what it says. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So now you're going to broaden these out a little bit, these fibers, and you stroke them down the side of the head, and then you do this on the other side as well. So it makes sense to just stretch them out sideways a little bit. We only need 1/4 of that area that you're covering with the pink to look decent, because all the rest of the head will be covered up. So when you've put it down and you have a little white gap here, don't worry too much about it, because that gap will just be covered up with Joseph's beard and his hair. So we're not too worried about it. We just need to have a nice sort of 1/4 of that head that looks decent, so that we can use that as the face. And then you've got your extra strong thread, which comes in handy, because you need to tie this around the base. Now, to do this, I'm holding on with my left hand here. You can use your other hand if you like. And then I'm just wrapping that string around it, or that thread around it. And then when you've wrapped it around it, you can put like put a knot on there, but go through the loop once and then go through the loop again. And that way you can tighten it as tight as you want without it coming loose. And then you can put a knot on top. And that's just a little sort of useful trick of how to tie a knot when you haven't got extra hands to hold the bit down to keep it tight. And of course I've left my scissors somewhere else, so I'm just going to magically make that strand disappear. Do I need scissors for something else? Yes, I do. In that case, I am just going to leave you for a minute, but I'm going to go to the big camera because I tell you what, I'm just going to do something else. I'm going to show you the Nativity discount page. Here you go. You can read this while I'm back in a second to get my scissors. Hopefully not knocking anything down, because I can be a little bit clumsy at times. Okay, I'm back. You can't see me yet, but I will be back in a second. I just need to cover my lap up again so I don't start shaking and shivering and turning blue. And right, here I am. Haha! Okay, so what you just saw is that you can actually get discount on this nativity kit if you order it now, and if you're a subscriber, you get 20% off, and if you use the code that you just saw on the screen, then you get 10% off. And then remember, you get this whole big box with all the separate projects inside, and the tutorials, obviously they stay up on YouTube, so you can watch them anytime. even next year, or the year after, or the year after. Right, scissors, cut that strand off now. So you should have a head that looks a bit like that, like a almost like a bit like a ghost. So you got the wispy end still there. And I'm just going to go to the overhead camera again. Oh, and I'll tell you what, I'm just going to have a quick look at some of the comments there. Right, what are we doing then? Oh, lots of people commenting. I cannot keep up with you. Oh, this is all the heroes. Yes, I want to hear some heroes. Oh, okay. Now I'll try not to get sentimental. My hero is my grandfather, says Fanny. He died already more than 20 years ago, but his positivity is still living in me. That's so nice, Fanny. Oh, I know exactly how you feel. My hero is my dad. He died almost 27 years ago, but he comes to see me every day in the form of a robin. Oh, that's so nice, Sandra. They do say that about robins, don't they? That they come, that it's a loved one that comes and visits you. Alicia says, my hero is my mum. She always never gave up on life, even when she became so ill. She also always gave to others her entire life. I miss her so much. I know you're doing great things, Alicia. She'd be so proud of you. Donna says, my friend Elsbeth, registered visually impaired, lets nothing get to her, lets nothing get in her way, crochets, knits, runs a, oh dear, something unit. This is definitely challenging me now. Is this something Scottish or... Okay, I have no idea what that unit is. In the past, competed in Paralympics on tandem, swims daily, etc., etc. Wow, that sounds like a super amazing lady. What a hero to have. Carol says, my father was my hero, always there for us, 3 girls. He could fix anything. Miss him dearly. So many dads are heroes. Serena says, my hero is my other half, Lee, as he's always there when I need him, and I am forever grateful to him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here now. Oh my goodness, you owe him your life. That's amazing. You have to tell us that story another time. Sandra, that is amazing, says Alicia. So not just me who says that. Bridget says, I have many heroes, but a living hero is Laura Peggs. She has so many things to bring her down, but she just keeps going. And I just accidentally said the surname, so I hope you forgive me, Laura. But of course we do know Laura, and we are always astonished how, I don't know, how determined she is to just be strong and march on. And have we got some others that I can just... I really just want to read all the heroes now. Okay, but I might have to give up on this, otherwise we won't have a Joseph. Oh, one more. Erica says, my hero is the man who called me to warn about a dog in my flock of sheep. A few are wonderful, but they all... wounded. Sorry, a few were wounded, but they all survived. Oh my God, that's terrible. My hero is the man who called me to warn about a dog in my flock. Oh my God. Okay. I wasn't one of our dogs, I promise. They don't chase sheep, thankfully. Well, I'm glad you sheep are all right. Whatever happened to the dog? Dread to think. Natasha says, my hero is my liver donor. I don't know who it was, but my life was saved because of my hero. Oh my God, I can't believe you've got amazing heroes. Pauline says, okay, I've got to read that's the last one, I promise. Hubby is my hero at the moment. He does a big shop every week for us and for his parents, and has just returned with this week's shopping while I'm happily sat here needle felting. Oh, love it when shopping comes through the door. Everybody's my hero when shopping comes through the door. But I love even more if they put it away and I don't have to do that. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, I'm gonna go back to focus on Joseph now. I'm all a bit churned up, and yeah, just love everything that you say. Okay, overview camera again. Here we are. That's the felting mat. That's the head that I've just made, and now we're getting onto the arms. So if you have the basic instructions, for example, you will You will make the arms first, and usually you leave that long pipe cleaner intact. It just depends on if you make legs or whatever. So you have to refer to your specific instructions to know what you're doing next. Now I know that we are attaching legs here, but we don't need all of that pipe cleaner. So I'm going to just take off. Just read how much. I just want to follow my instructions, because otherwise I'll just make it up as I go along, and then you will be wondering what on earth is going on. So for Joseph, we need to obviously make the arms, but for the legs, you use 15 centimeters of pipe cleaner length from the arms and secure around the center by wrapping the main body pipe cleaner around it a couple of times. Okay. So basically what we do is we cut this pipe cleaner, the whole one here, in half. Now I really don't want to use these embroidery scissors to cut this in half, so I'm going to jiggle it. You can actually break these pipe cleaners, which is why they're not so great for constantly changing the pose. Now I've got two 15 centimeter lengths, and I'm going to make the arms first. And I know that for Joseph, what he has are only the pink hands, which I've left my bit of pink here. I'm just going to wrap this around the end, and this is how you make little pink hands. So you wrap it around the end, really thin and fine, and then you bend the end in so that it's the bend is covered, and then you go over the parallel bits of the pipe cleaner. And then when you've done that, actually this not quite covered that bend. I want to make it right. Just going to cover that bend a bit more, making sure that he's got pink hands rather than fluffy white pipe cleaner hands there. And then you can sort of get rid of the rest of the wool along the arm. It doesn't really matter what that looks like, because we just want to get rid of it there. Okay, and then use the other part. It's actually a little bit too much I've pulled off there earlier. Then use the other part to do the same thing on the other side. So keep it nice and flat and tight. And then when it's got that bend covered, bend it over, and then wrap the rest of the pink wool around that bend, and then just get rid of that last bit of wool along the arm. Right, so that's covered now. That has just made the hands, which is all we need, and it looks a little bit like a Q-tip with a pink, flesh pink cover there. And now I'm going to have a quick look what we're doing here. I have actually in the instructions covered the whole of the arm, so let's just do that. It's not really necessary, but as many of you know, there are many ways of doing things, so I'm just covering the whole of the arm so that it's covered, and then I do it on the other side as well. So I suppose it's just if the arm is peeking through the sleeve, so I better follow my own instructions. And then I just do this on the other side as well. This will all be covered up with his coat. I'll show you in a minute when you look at Joseph. But I'm just going to get rid of the that little bit of pipe cleaner. Sometimes it's easier to twist the pipe cleaner and just let the wool sort of take care of itself. Right, there's my set of arms now. Joseph has got all of his arms covered, as you can see, with his top coat, and just the hands are poking out. But I suppose if you move the sleeve up a bit, at least he hasn't got, you can't see the pipe cleaners. Talking about pipe cleaners, I will just say that, oh, I didn't bring them here. Oh, yes, I did. So we have got, some of you might not even know this, but we now not only sell our extra strong pipe cleaners, which is what I've been using. And the reason why we call them extra strong is not because they are indestructible. They do break, but look, there's a whole head on there, and they don't just, I mean, they flop a little bit, but not like craft pipe cleaners. If this was a craft pipe cleaner, it'd be like this. So that's why we call them extra strong. You can get them in a pack of 25, but new is now that we do them in a pack of 100, and you'll never run out of pipe cleaner again. So this is something definitely worth looking at, getting, instead of getting 25, get a load, and then you're sorted for a long time. Right, so now I'm going to put these pipe cleaner arms onto the body by just literally, I'm going to twist the arms around the main pipe cleaner just once, trying to keep them at equal length, even if they're not in the right, at the right, where the body, you know, at the top yet, you can just push them up. Find the nice part of your head, so you've got arms sticking out on either side, and then use these wispy ends of the head to just secure around the main pipe cleaner. That will keep the arms in place as well. So just go around the main pipe cleaner like that, and then this part of the Joseph is done, and now we're going to get to the legs. And I will look at the instructions just to make sure that I follow them, not just make new stuff up. Okay, so oh yes, this is quite good. So you actually you get rid of a little bit of this pipe cleaner. You can just sort of cut half of this off. So you will only need 1.5 lengths of pipe cleaner. There you go. And then you get the other the 15 centimeters that you've got from the one length of the pipe cleaner that you made the arms of. You actually, you see, I could do this so differently now. You actually lay your pipe cleaner on there like a cross, and the distance between the head and the crotch, so to speak, should be the same distance as the head is tall. So if that head, imagine that head fits into here, then you've got the right distance. And then you, this time you're folding that pipe cleaner up, the main pipe cleaner, rather than twisting the legs around it. And you're getting sort of rid of that pipe cleaner on that body. And that will, the legs are not particularly strong at the moment, but we'll make them strong by wrapping the wool around it. And don't worry too much what this looks like unless you're completely a neat freak. There you go. So this is what he looks like at the moment, with his arms. I can't remember now which one I chose for the front. Probably this one here. And then you're going to take your brown wool. You get some sort of, it's almost like a chocolatey color brown wool. It's a natural fiber and a natural color. And fiber for that matter, and you're going to wrap the wool around, no, it's not that one, it's that dark one, sorry, we're making feet first, are we? No, we're making legs first. Okay, we'll use this one. So you wrap this around the foot like that, and cover up. The reason why I was uncertain which one comes first is because you can make trousers that go over the boots, or you can have the boots that tuck in the trousers. So you could do either. If you want the boots to go over the leg, then you have to start with covering the legs first. If you want the trouser legs to go over the boots, then you do it the other way around, if that makes sense at all. So you just wrap the legs up, and then the rest of it, wrap this around the body, because that will further sort of strengthen the pipe cleaners attached to that body. And then you do this on the other side as well. So you're just covering the legs at the moment with the wool. Remember and so we haven't bent the feet in yet at all. We're just covering the legs because we want the boots to actually cover the trouser legs. And I will be totally honest, I have actually reviewed some of these instructions because I'm making so many fairies, and what I do now is I often make the legs before I touch them. So I wrap the legs first before I even attach them to the body, which you can do too. It's like I say, there are always many ways of how to make different shapes and things. So right, so now we've got a set of legs there. He looks like that now. At this point, if you wanted to, you can start needle felting some of the bits into the body. Just mind that pipe cleaner. especially because you've got the extra bit there that you've wrapped around the main pipe cleaner before. Turning him round, stuff him in a bit more. And hope you all watched the unwrapping of the makers boxes yesterday. That was so exciting. I'm so excited by the unwrapping of the makers boxes. Even though I know exactly what's inside, even though I know exactly what it makes, I'm always so excited unwrapping them because I always imagine what it must be like for you guys when you haven't seen it. And yeah, so it's always really exciting. Right, so now I've got Joseph with wrapped legs. Sorry, I keep going out of the screen. I'm just going to sit. Oh, gosh, sorry, that was my head temporarily going in. I'm just moving my chair a bit so I'm more naturally am sitting in this place here now. Right, so he's got like super high trousers on. He's got his legs there. And now we're going to use that darker wool here, which is our brown, black New Zealand Merino that we use for molds. And now you're going to make him boots, and you just wrap the end of the foot and then you bend that in to make a boot, and you make it nice and tight and keep wrapping it up. And then at some point, even though I haven't finished wrapping yet, it always helps to just bend the foot in, and then you know where you are with getting your boot shaft wrapped around there. So remember that most of his legs will be covered up by a cloak. So I've just bent that foot in quite a long way. So probably about 1.5 centimeters. So this boot here is about 1.5 centimeters. And then I do the same on the other side again. Just a bit of this black. You definitely have got way more black in there than you need, brown black. So cover this up. And then bend the foot in like that. Bend the end of the pipe cleaner in, I should say, and then cover that up. Make it nice and tight. Really, don't be afraid to pull tight. As long as you're pulling close to the area that you work at, you should be fine. And then remember to bend in the foot so that you can work your way up the leg a little bit. Oh, he's got a pointy boot, this one. And then when you are finished with that, then hopefully you've got 2 similar size boots. Yeah, they're not too bad. And remember, you can also felt them down a little bit. So I'm working into the boot and get that felted down a bit, but I can also reduce the size. Remember, we've got a competition on. You can win one of these skin tone wool bags. It's a lot of wool in there. It's 90 grams of bats and tops. I'll just show you some of them. You can win this today in the live stream, which is Tuesday, the I have no idea what is today. Today is the 3rd, maybe, potentially, think. Yeah, maybe. I have no idea. You can win this pack that has got wool tops in there in different skin tones, and then it also has got wool bats in there in different skin tones. And to win it, you just leave us a comment on the live stream today and on Thursday Facebook watch party. What is your hero? Who is your hero? It can be somebody who's still with you, or it can be somebody who no longer is with you. It can be something really silly, or it can be something really sad and lovely. We don't judge you on it. You will all of your names will be put in a pot, and then we'll just pick the winner. And this is the bag that you can win yourself. Right, Joseph. Okay, here we go. Joseph has now got boots. He's got his legs covered. He's got his body as finished as it will be. If you wanted to, you could add a little bit more. I wouldn't want you to take any of this brown wool because that's for his cloak. So we want to keep that safe. We don't want to dig more into it. But you could build up more of his body if you wanted to here and secure, because all of this will be hidden away later, and secure more of the legs that way and make his body a bit bigger. This is not in the instructions. I'm making this up as I'm going along, because if you've got spare wool left over, then you might as well use it, unless you, of course, want to put it in your stash, and that's fine too. I'm giving him an extra body warmer. It's probably because I'm cold today. I'm kind of assuming he might be too. Oh, look, he's got a belly button as well. There. Sorry, I keep moving out of the screen. It's one of these days. He's got a little bit of a cotton thread there from the pipe cleaner, which I'm going to leave there for his belly button. There you go. Right, so this is Joseph with a belly button. Didn't know I was making one, but the next thing you're going to do is you're going to dress Joseph. Now, you have this leftover brown wool here. If you, like me, have got sort of bits sticking out and maybe it's a bit thin here, then all you need to do is just tease it out a little bit and put the bits that are sticking out and aren't even on top of it rather than extending it. And then you sort of make a nice thick wad again. Then you put a hole in the middle. And you're literally putting this over his head because that's going to be his dress, so to speak. Put it all over his head, slip it down, and just put it into place so that it spreads out over his body at the front and at the back. So tease it out a little bit. The wool butts are very forgiving. And with this one here, this is a technique I don't think I've shown you before. With this one, or maybe the Father Christmas was a bit like that, if you've watched that on Pam Duthie's YouTube channel, and she was making the Father Christmas. But you're actually needle felting under the arms now to make almost needle felt a seam. And this is when it might be quite handy if you have got pink arms and not just pink hands, in case you have a short sleeve there. So I'm needle felting down on one side, but I'm also turning it over and I'm needle felting on the other side as well. So you're felting the front and the back together, but in a very straight line right under the arm there. Just felt this part on and close together. There. Make sure that it is literally fused ever so well. You can make the sleeve a bit more a bit looser if you make that needle felted line away from the arm a bit. And then you do this on the other side as well. So make sure you distribute the wool well. Felt this on under the arm like a straight line. Make sure you don't stab into the arm. You shouldn't actually be that close to the arm. Do this on the other side as well. You can sort of tuck in the ends where the hand is a little bit so that it makes a neat finish there. And felt this down really well. For this, you might have to actually go to a coarse needle. It will be fine with a medium needle, but I think it will work faster with a coarse needle. So try with a coarse needle. Yeah, it goes a bit. You can feel it's gripping a lot more. And then do this from both sides. Keep doing it a few times. Go over it a couple of times. Do the other side again a bit more with a coarse needle. And then when you've done this, what you're doing next is, this might sound really dramatic, but you're actually cutting into the sleeve below the felted bit that you felted together. And that should have like fused the bit under the sleeve. So you're literally making him a dress while he's wearing it. And then you could, if you wanted to, just smooth out that seam underneath it and felt it right into his arm. So that also is probably one of the reasons why I put pink in the arm, because it can actually felt into wool rather than just a pipe cleaner. That is just if you want to make the seam a little bit less obvious. And then do this on the other side as well. There. If the seam has come open a tiny bit, don't worry, just felt it shut. It's absolutely fine. And then you've got your Joseph's arm almost finished. We can go over it again. Now you've got these two flappy bits here, and you just literally tuck them in one into the other. It works best if you have works best if you make sure that whichever side your head is, that can't remember now, that you have that come in from the back first and then pull the front round the back, so that if there is a seam, it shows at the back. So I'm felting it down at the back now. Felt that one down at the back, and then do the other side as well. So have the back tuck in at the front, bring it round, and then felt it down at the back. Remember that he's got an old cloak on. This is not the prettiest dress on the planet. This is just a cloak that keeps him warm, a woolen cloak. And then you can just felt it together a little bit more, make it a little bit neater around the neck if you wish. Remember, his beard will cover most of the neck up as well. And when you've done that, you might have sort of wispy ends here at the bottom, and now you can neaten these up by just tucking them in and creating a nicer base at the bottom. He can show off some of his legs, but most of his legs will be tucked inside. And to do this, you just have to sort of felt in from inside the cloak into the seam. Keep lifting it up pretty quickly again, and then felt from the other side as well. So you're felting almost like a hem at the bottom. This one is a bit split. Move your felting mat around and move your figure on the felting mat and just felt that shut. There you go. Right, so he's got, it's almost like a dress basically, and you can felt that together. Sometimes it also works if you felt into mid-air and you just hold it shut and then felt sort of into it from the hold onto his legs and just felt into it from the base. You can do that too. None of it is going to be felted very much. Often these needle felted figures, at least the ones that I'm making, aren't felted down very, very solidly. They're quite loosely felted, so that the wool itself sort of gives that impression of a soft coat. And then once he's got his coat on, what makes it look quite finished is if you put that belt around him. There, you can do that already, and you just tie it around him with you want to tie it once or twice, however you prefer that, if you like a longer or shorter, or tighten it more or less. But that makes him look quite dressed now. I'll just put a knot on there, on this one, there. And then put his arms into position, and then maybe just go around the neck a little bit more if need be. But as I said, remember, we are going to felt a beard onto him. Right, there you go. That's basically his cloak done now. There he is. He looks quite handsome. He's got a little cloak. He's got his legs poking out here with his boots. He's got his belt on. His arms look fine. They're closed up underneath, so the seam has worked. And you can felt his upper body down a little bit more if you want to. This is entirely up to you. You can felt him down completely solid. There's nothing wrong by doing that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to give him some beard, a beard. And what I will say is, once I get to making him the cap, that's when we call off the competition. So you've got as long as it takes me to make a beard. To comment more, I'm gonna have a cup of tea quickly, or a few sips anyway. It's not warm anymore. Right, there's Joseph. I just showed you him from the front. He's very bald at the moment. He's got his cloak, his little legs. They're all complete now, and he's about the same size as this one. It's not bad actually. It's pretty much identical. I think this cloak is a little bit faded. Right, so what we're doing next is we're going to give him a beard, and then we're going to give him a cap. And that's the two steps that are missing still. But I want to tell you about some other things. So next week, we're going to do Mary to go with Joseph. And she's also holding baby Jesus, which we are also making. See, she's wearing the same as me. You can hardly see her on me. So next week, I won't be Mary, because that would be very silly, making a blue figure behind a blue top. And then the week after, we spend 2 hours making a donkey. And hope you all like my donkey noises. And if you want to make an angel, if you don't have the nativity kit, remember, you can get our Christmas fairy, and you can make a really beautiful angel that way. If you want to make an angel just to go with the nativity, you don't have to give her all the decorations that she has got, because she has got, oh, can't really see in that light. She has got, let's try far away. She's got little stars and snowflakes and a sequin belt, and then she's got a little crown on top of her head as well. So if you wanted to make more of an angel figure, then you could, she has got wings, however, so that's quite convenient for an angel. Then you could just use the fairy box. You don't have to subscribe to our fairy boxes. You can buy them as a one-off kit, but you do save 20% if you buy them as a kit. And I'm just going to go and have a quick look at what people are saying. Oh, let's have some heartwarming moments of heroes. Okay, I've randomly, if I miss anybody, I'm really sorry. I'm not doing this on purpose. My hero is my husband, says Jane. He's been amazing, supporting me through the good times and the bad times, coping with my moods when I don't feel so good with my aches. Oh, bless you. Helen says, I have a few. My mother is one of them. Yeah, you're allowed to have lots of heroes. Doesn't just have to be one. She spent a few years with catatonic depression, but she now works and is able to function like everyone else. She is a true inspiration and a beautiful woman. That's very nice. What a lovely mom you've got. Diane says, my hero is are all my felting buddies, including, oh my goodness, I'm a hero. That gives me hot flushes now, who have kept me sane, though maybe financially poor. Oh dear. During the last few uncertain and worrying months. I know exactly where you're coming from. I really do. Oh, well, the thing is that all of you are my heroes. Let's face it, because without you and your lovely comments, and you're there, you're just there. You just turn up and you're there. Talking of which, do make sure that you give our YouTube, this particular YouTube stream, the thumbs up, and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But thank you, Diane. That's a really lovely thing to say. Helen says, my fella is another hero of mine. He continues to excel and looks after me. Love his caring nature, although he is a man who doesn't show much emotion. Love him dearly. Oh, there's somewhere there, those emotions. Not everybody wears them on their sleeves like I do. If there's something wrong about in my world, you sure to know about it. I don't hold back. Helen says, I love... oh, no. She doesn't love you. I nearly said, I love Bridget. She says, I know Bridget. She's amazing. While I was doing my training... I was her carer and practiced therapies on her. So you know each other. Oh, I'm getting the connection now. So this is obviously, now I've got this was whose mum? This was Helen's mum. Oh, no, this was Bridget's mum. Okay, I'm getting confused here. I do apologize. Oh, okay. So this is definitely between two people who know each other. Okay, I'm going to stay out of it. Faith that says Joseph looks great. Thank you. Okay, there's the clue to move on. Let's go and finish him off. He's ready, lying on his mat here. He's very impatient, wriggling and jiggling about, saying, "Come on, give me my beard. Come on." Okay, it's coming, Joseph. Don't you worry, it's coming. Okay, beard colors. I happen to have a little bit more grey than brown in here, but who cares? We can give him a grey beard and brown hair, or the other way around. Sometimes men have got weird hair colors that don't match up from the top to the beard. Nearly said something else. I'm not even going to go there. Okay, I'm giggling and sniggering to myself now. Okay, starting with a beard. I'm so glad you can't see me right now. Okay, starting with a beard. We'll just lay these curls out. Now, what I always say about curls, and you're probably sick of hearing me say it, is that with curls, you have to tease them sort of sideways to make them more voluptuous. And if you want to separate them, then try not to tear them, but cut them. But these are actually perfect for a beard here. So I'm just going to put them on him. And if you tease them out even more where you need to fasten them on, then you have a larger surface to stub into, and therefore wispier fibers to get really stuck into the wool. So I'm giving him a beard now. First and foremost, I do hope you're not all sitting there laughing. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to move on swiftly. Right, so he's got a grey beard, and that's it. I've just done that all in one go, so leave a little bit of the face showing, obviously. We've got lots of curls in there. And then you can give him sort of like a fringe if you want. So I'm going to give him a brown fringe. I could just stick with grey, but I'm going to give him a brown fringe. And I'm making these curls work by teasing them apart. Oh, sorry, I'm so happy you don't see me. I just can't stop laughing. It's always one of my worst nightmares is that I'm gonna have like a complete laughing fit, and I won't be able to stop. But if I saw you now in person, I probably would have had to run away, because I'm so glad I can't see you, because if you're also giggling, that of course sets me off even more. I have no idea what this Joseph is gonna look like now. Anyway, we all need a bit something to laugh about, surely, right now especially. There we go. His face is disappearing. So if you've made a complete mess of his face, just give him lots of beard and hair. And there's this debate, isn't it? Was Joseph actually, was he a young man or was he an old man? I don't really know what difference it makes, old or young. God, nearly said something really rude then as well. I must stop now. Okay, I'm stopping. This is not funny anymore. I'm going to be reported to the nativity police. Right. Okay, he's got, he's definitely, his face is sorted now. Now we just need to sort the back. As he's going to wear a cap, I'm not worried about covering too much of his head here, but I just want to give him a bit of hair here at the back, so that it comes out from underneath his cap, because he's obviously not been to the hairdresser, as many of us won't be going to, especially if you live in the UK for the next month either. So tease these curls out. I haven't actually had to cut them. They separate quite easily at the moment. So I'm just giving him hair here at the back, so it's slightly going down his neck. And if he was bald, then that would probably be him. So he's got his face here showing, and now I'm going to make a cap. Okay, so for this I need to put him to one side because I make the cap separately. So you do need a little bit of this brown black left over. Thank God I didn't use it all up. Otherwise you don't have to make him a cap. You could just cover the rest of his head with curls, because you get plenty in your little pack. And for this you just need your brown black wool, and you needle felt with a coarse needle a circular, I nearly said a circular circle on there, just so that you can see the circle here, and then you fold the sides in. If you've ever made a snowman with me, then this is the same principle. So you're making a disc basically, that's what you're making, and you're folding this in. So keep stabbing into that circle that you've created, and so it's more like a cap than a proper hat, like that. And when you needle flat on anything, you do need to lift it off regularly, because it will fasten itself onto it. And then just stab from that side, just stab into the base. So again, exactly what you did on the other side, but do that on that side as well. And then do it this side again. And it's sort of, it kind of makes an indentation, like a channel around here, and the sides are neatened up because they've been folded in. This has come off the felting mat, because that is one of the disadvantages of these basic wool mats. They're not as good quality as our earth friendly felting mats. There you are, which if I felt it on there, I wouldn't get any fibers coming out the other side. And remember now, because I'm on the hat, the competition has closed and Emma has actually drawn a winner, and I'll be more than happy to announce that it's Erica. Erica has won herself the skin tone wool mix, so that will be coming your way, Erica. And I think what we normally do is, and what Emma will tell you, is to just email us so that we get your details on our system, which I'm sure we have already, but still. Right, so you can see me already. I'm putting this hat onto Joseph. I'm just making sure he's got enough hair cover. If he doesn't, then you can always add a little bit more just to be on the safe side, so a little bit of pink isn't suddenly coming through. In fact, I've got so much wool, just give him hair everywhere. If he loses his cap, at least he doesn't need to worry about walking around bald. So I'm just covering a little bit more. Well, and I've got so many curls, I'm just using them. But of course, you don't need to do that because you might just want to keep some curls safe for another project. But I have got, and you will have plenty of curls if you get these from our nativity kit. Or you will have even more if you buy the curls separately from us, which of course we also sell. You can get our Blue Faced Leicester curls. These exact curls that we're putting in the nativity kit. There's a lot of them are very, very different, so we don't tend to sell them as a curl pack on their own, because otherwise people will complain, oh, my last lot was more that color and my last lot was more that color. So we've put them into the nativity kit, because then you can decide to make a gray or brown haired Joseph. Right, he's got both. He's got a gray beard, and then you attach the cap by continuing to stab into that groove that you've been stabbing into to make the hat in the first place. Now, because he's got quite dark hair and quite a dark cap, I don't even know if you can see it very well on the camera, but trust me, the cap is definitely there, and he's got his curly hair, and you just felt it on, and it sort of can even what's the word, crimp up a little bit, so you can make the cap fit precisely to Joseph. It doesn't really matter if it looks like a bit, oh, I can't think of the word now, looks a bit wavy, where it's what is the word, it's like pleats, but it's not pleats because we're not making a skirt. So it sort of it just crinkles up a little bit. That's the best I can call it. And then you've got Joseph done, and all he needs is a stick to stand up. So just find a little branch, a little stick. I never know which way around, but I think you'd probably have the bigger part. Bend his hands, because you've got the pipe cleaners there, so he can hold on to it. And now I'm going to go on the big camera to see if I can make him stand. He's got one leg shorter than the other, but you can just pull it. Okay, let's have a look. There he is. This is new Joseph. Is he going to stand? Come on. Be nice, Joseph. You can do it. Yes. He can always, that's the other thing, is if you do the nativity, he can always lean on Mary. That's not a bad thing to do. Women have got broad shoulders. They don't mind if the Josephs of the world lean on them. Come on. Ah. Oh. Yes? No? No. Okay, I'm going to make this work. If you need to go to sleep, just say goodbye now. Yay, he's standing. A little bit of tweaking, a little bit of fiddling, and Joseph is standing on his two legs with a staff in his hand. So there you go. Can have a closer up look at him. He looks quite smart. He's got his hat on. You can see it better in this camera. Got hair poking out at the back. He's holding his stick, and yeah, he's done. Excellent. So now we've got Mary to do next week. So remember, on Tuesday next week, tune in to get Mary done. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Oh yes, the hoggies. Ha-ha! Have you got yours yet? You will be getting this, exactly a box like this, in your post, and it will say the hoggies are here. And we've had lots of people saying, oh, I've had my hoggies. I'm not going to open them because I don't want you to. For those of you who are patient and will wait until the 29th of November to open the box and their first parcel in there, I'm not going to open this so I don't want to spoil the. But we've had stories of the postman saying, what are hoggies? What does it mean the hoggies are here? So I want to see the hoggies. And so I'm really excited. We actually have a handful of these still left. So if you want to get yours, it's not too late. participate. And remember that we definitely want to see your Josephs on our Everyone a Maker Facebook page. So a group even. So come and share your Joseph, or maybe you've just made a random man, or maybe you've made a man that has got resemblance to somebody who you know. Just tell us about it. We'd love to hear it. And I'm just looking around in case I've forgotten anything. I'm going to be so busy this week, and I really am going to be busy. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. So if you haven't got your ticket yet to the Creative Craft Show, then you can still get it for £6. It's £6. I mean, how cheap is that? You have access to 40 different tutorials and workshops all day. You're going to be busy until Christmas, basically, because you can keep visiting the different what they call rooms, but they're actually individual Facebook groups that you get entry for just with that one £6 ticket. And you can do a workshop with me in the felting den, which we're also sponsoring, and making a dog head which could potentially turn into a Christmas bauble if you like. There you go, quite easy to make. If you haven't got the dog bundle that you can buy from the Creative Craft Show, then all you need is sort of a handful of a white wool and then bits of brown wool. And I've actually used 9mm glue-in eyes on these chaps here. But if you have our cappuccino pack, you can definitely make a dog head with me, and then you could also needle felt the eyes. They don't need to be glue-in eyes. And then also on the same day, I'm actually doing a workshop to make one of these happy chaps. This is a little Father Christmas. You can make him with legs or without legs. And again, if you've got our Christmas wool mix, then you can make one of these quite easily. I've even used the sparkly stuff that comes in the Christmas wool mix to make his beard, curly beard, and it's a sparkly curly beard, so it's a special mini Santa. And then on Sunday I'm teaching how to make a robin, and you can buy your Zoom. It's a Zoom workshop with the Country Living Fair. You can still buy your robin kit for that. It's our robin kit, but you get the Zoom workshop with it. So and that again you can watch anytime later if you're busy on Sunday, and you might not get your kit in time. Then you can watch it anytime, but get your kit from us, and you do that by buying it directly from Country Living. So don't buy it from us because we can't send you the Zoom login, the Zoom workshop. You buy everything from Country Living, and they also have an artisan market open this weekend on Instagram. So it's going to be so busy. And it's my son's birthday as well. So I have no idea. I'm already saying, oh, what do you want to do? Okay, I might not be very present. But hey ho, it's got to be done because we need to keep ourselves busy. We need our hands busy and our minds not busy. That's basically it. So let's keep our hands busy and keep our minds as free as possible. And then we're all going to be all right because we're going to get through this in no time. You watch. Soon it will be spring, and then we'll all be running around in bikinis and bare feet again. And some of you are doing this already, Bridget, aren't you? So we know it's going to come. The world just keeps going round, and we'll get out at the other end again. So stay strong, everybody. Visit everything that we do. Just come. Doesn't matter what we do. Just find us. We'll be doing one thing or another over the weekend. And I see you all on Thursday when you're all watching this on Facebook, of course. And then I see you next week with Making Mary and Baby Jesus. And show us your moustaches, right? Everybody want to see their moustache, a photo of their moustache, and licking a lollipop. Okay, I'll shut up now. See you later. Bye.